I was also an organizer, and I don't know why Vikram didn't join. So maybe Vikram will join later. So Surya and Vikram has to join. That's fine. So Siddharth, yes, I'm just making Siddharth as also an organizer. Okay, so whatever we have did in the SVN, so today we are going to do the same thing on our Git. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do it now. So just a moment. Vikram also came, which is good. So so can you explain, anyone, can you explain me on that day what I have talked about the SVN part? So can you just tell me what we have did? Hello guys, can anyone
So
talk?
we understood from the session that SVN is just to use the version controls, and we can roll back to any of the program. Like in case if you wanted to go back to the previous versions or the new versions by using upload and update and roll back.
Okay, so that's fine. So you are talking about the diplomatic part of SVN, but can you talk in technical terms? So what is checkout? What is repository? What is the how to create a repository? What is the software that it is getting used to create a repository? All those stuff. Talk to me technically.
Repository is a place where we central repository is a place where all this
Stores are okay. The code will be stored. That is not my. So again, you are talking in a functional way. Okay. So first of all, Tata's SVN is a tool to create your repository. This is the first point, correct? Which we have seen on the day. So the next point is going to be, which is there is called there is an operation called SVN checkout. So SVN checkout is the operation that you are going to create your repository. Sorry, you are going to create your
local repository.
very good, local repository. So SVN add is a place where you are just going to add a new file. SVN commit is the thing which you are going to just commit the local repository into your remote repository. Sorry, into your central repository. Correct. So this is what we have seen yesterday on the SVN part. Okay. So the similar tool which is available. So I just want to explain you about the Git. But before Git, you need to understand the SVN. So this is the younger brother of Git. So how really the Git works is the similar way. Okay, so the Git is also a similar tool which is available in market to do the same operation, but little bit in a higher mount. Okay, so this is what it works, how it works. So you will see here. So same thing which you are going to create is nothing but the remote repository and the local repository. So which we are going to create it. So the place of taking the process of taking this checkout is called as a Git clone here. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are just going to do a Git clone of your repository, and once the things are done, so this is going to be pushed back. So this is called as a commit. So over there you called it as a commit. So here you are trying to call it as a push, Git push. Okay, so Git push is the thing. So which is going to be, here it is called as a remote repository. There in SVN it was called as a central repository. I called this repository as a central repo. But here it is going to be a remote repo. Why? Because it is a distributed version controlling system. I will tell you why. So this is nothing but your local repo. So which is your local repo. So this is your local repo that we are going to use it. Okay, so the place which you are going to get is called as a git clone. The place which you are going to download this repository is called as a local repository. And instead of doing a commit, so you will be doing a commit. If you are doing a git commit here, and if you are doing your git add, so similar thing you have to use. So you have to use something called git add and the git commit. And just a moment. One second. 000. Sorry. So first of all, you are going to create an account in the GitHub, and from this remote repository, you are going to clone the thing. So what you did in SVN, so in SVN you have created the repository in your local, right? But here in this case, we are going to do the things in the GitHub. Okay. So GitHub is a repository. So it is nothing but a remote repository where people are going to use. So this is nothing but your cloud version of your Git. So now you are really going into the infrastructure of your Git. So what you can do is you can just go to GitHub. You create an account. If you want, you can just create an account, your GitHub login. You can create it. So you see. So you go to your GitHub and you can create your own logins with your GitHub. Okay. So you can use your existing thing. I have my existing account, but what I'm doing is I'm just going to create a new account. So which is going to be a Sundar, Honey Sundar, something like that. I'm just going to put a name, Honey Sundar 25. My email address is nothing but also I'm just going to put the same email ID. Okay. And I'm going to just try for sign up. So the username is going to be this. So the email ID is going to be 25 maybe. And the password is going to be, I'm just going to put my password. So I am just creating a GitHub account. So I have created my GitHub account here in this place. And now, so always try to use the public repository so that you don't have to pay money. So if you are just going for a private repository, you have to pay money for that. Okay. So in this case, what you are going to do is just you are going to press continue, and yeah, just to say something like that, and submit. So it doesn't ask anything. So now your account got created, right? If you are starting a project, it will be saying, if you are starting a project, so it will ask you to verify your email ID because you have created the email from that place, right? So it will be asking you to verify it. So just go and verify from that place. So sign in with a different user. Yeah. So add an account. And oh, it's not working. Okay, it is not working. So in this way, you can just create your own account. So, but what I can do is I have my personal things which is there already with me. So I can just sign in with that username and password. My dashboard. Yeah. So what I can do is, yeah. So I can just sign it out. So I have my own account, which is a normal account which I have. So I can just sign in already. So I have this. So this is my normal account. So I'm just signing into my account. So it means that this is my remote repository which I have. You see. So this is my remote repository which I have. So I'm just going to create a new repository. So you can create your new repository here. So this is going to be a demo for so demo Pranita is the repository which I am creating. So it means that I am creating a repository in a GitHub. So GitHub is a remote repository where it is there in the remote server. I don't know where this is exactly. Okay. So this is the place that I am going to use it. And I have created a remote repository called demo_Pranita, right? So I have used that repository now, and now what I am doing is I have created this repository, and I set this repository created. So I am using the infrastructure as a service, right? So infrastructure as a service, I am using it. Okay. So if you want to clone it, so if you want to do the download of this repository, what you have to do? So you have to clone this repository so that you can add the content in your local. So what you have to do here is, so you have to do a clone from the GitHub. So normally what you will do here is, yeah, you will copy this place. To do a clone, I told you that you need to have some tortoise SVN or tortoise Git. So on the day we have used a tortoise SVN to do the checkout. So here we need to use tortoise Git. So which is nothing but your Git clone. So first you need to clone your repository, right? So if you want to clone your repository, you need to use an option called Git clone in your tortoise Git. And I am just going to download the things called a demo Pranita. So I am just doing that. Okay. You see now it's closed. So it got downloaded. So demo Pranita is the local repository which got created. How it got created? Because I have cloned the things. So I have used my GitHub account. So in GitHub, I have created one repository called a demo Pranita. So from that, if you want to add anything on your demo Pranita, you have to just do a clone, Git clone, which is nothing but which can be possible by using your tortoise Git. So you can use the software to do the clone, which is going to be your software is nothing but your tortoise Git. Okay, with this tortoise Git software, you are cloning the things, and now you have your local repository which is ready. Now you see the local repository which is ready is nothing but your demo Pranita. So this is your local repository, local Git repository. So what I am doing is I am just trying to put one file which is a text document, and what you can do is you can just add it, do a SVN add, what you can do. It is not SVN add, it is a Tata SVN add. So I have added the document into into my Git, and I have committed it. You see, I have committed it. While I am committing, just I am giving my command statement, some SRA. So after doing that, the push. So what is happening here? So automatically it is asking, right? So automatically you push the things to this place. So this is how it is asking you. So you push the things. So you push it. So what is happening here is we will be talking about this master and all later. So just say OK and it will be pushed. You see, it is asking for the username and password. So just put your username and password of your GitHub, which is there already with me, and I am just going to give my password, and it is going to push it. So it is going to push it. So push means it reaches your remote repository. Now what I have did, I have cloned my remote repository and taken into local. I have did for that the git clone command, and after that I have used git add to add a file, and after that I have committed. So this is nothing but the local staging area. So which is the file is getting committed in your local repository, and finally what is happening is you are trying to push the things into your remote repository by using the git push command. So git push is a command which makes you to just feel that you have pushed your changes really into your repository. So now you can just check in demo Pranita that you see the new text document got updated. Okay, so whenever you can ask me what is this branches. So the git branch is nothing but which is a real branch. In SVN it is not a real branch. It's just a folder. But in Git everything is a really it works. So the branch, you see the master branch will be automatically created. So that this is the reason it was asking you all those things while you are pushing. So which branch I want to push it. So the branch is called a master, which is a default branch which is getting created while you are creating your repository. So now hope you understand the first flow of your Git. So this is a very basic flow of your Git. So you have to understand this first of all. The GitHub is a remote repository where you are going to work on the Git. Okay. Do you have any doubts here or it's clear?
Yes.
Is it clear? No, it should not be clear. If it is clear means you are not interested. Mahendra, is it clear to you?
Sundar, it's clear for me, Sundar. Mahendra here.
Okay, good. So you guys
Because I've already registered in this and I've got an account in this GitHub.
Okay, okay. You know, then what is GitHub actually? If you don't have GitHub, what should you do now? So that is the next question I will ask you. If there is no GitHub, then where you will create this repository? Your remote repository. Where you will create your remote repository? No idea?
In instance, if I'm not wrong.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
In the instance.
Which instance?
EC2 instance.
Very good. So you will be normally people, if they don't want to pay for the Git, and if they want to have the Git setup in their local system, so this is the DevOps engineer at responsibility that you have to set up your Git server in your EC2 instance. We will be doing that soon. But before that, you have to understand what is the Git clone and what is the Git push and what is the Git add and what is the Git commit. Okay? Yeah. Is that clear, Pranita? Pranita, is it clear? Prabhakar, is it clear? Prabhakar, can you explain me what is happening here? Prabhakar Karo.
Yes.
Chapati. So don't hesitate to ask me the question. So please ask the question. I am sure that you should not understand. If you are understanding, you are lying to me. Yes, Prabhakar, please tell me. Prabhakar Karo.
Yeah.
Prabhakar Karo.
Yes, sir.
Cheppandi. ఏం చెప్పాలంటారా? ప్రభాకర్ గారు ప్లీజ్ యా మాత్రం చెప్తున్నారు, తర్వాత మాట్లాడట్లేదు నాతో. You understand Git, Prabhakar?
This is Pranita.
Yes, Pranita.
It is a cloning.
Okay. One second. Yeah. Yes. So, Pranita, yes.
My question is here. In the SVN, first we create the repository. When we make a change, first then we need to check out, right?
Yes.
Repository. So here, first we create the repository and then cloning.
Yeah. So anywhere you have to create a repository, otherwise you cannot clone it. You have to have the repository, right? So the repository is the base of everything. So you have to create your main repo. From that main repo only, everybody need to start working. So don't think in a repo, think in a software. Okay, you have to set up the software code, right? From that code, the initial code should be there. From that, people will be working on it. Correct? Okay. What I have told directly, not this, it will be difficult for you to understand. If I tell SVN, it will be easy for you to understand. So that's the reason first I started with SVN and went to Git. Okay. So now the remote repository is something which is in a GitHub, okay, or it can be in your EC2 instance. So what you do is you take your remote repository instance locally and try to work on it. Simple.
Okay.
So Siddharth, is it clear to you?
Sundar, what is this Tortoise Git do with the?
Yeah. So either you can use the Tortoise Git, or either you can use the Git bash. So we are going to see two things. So Tortoise Git is nothing but the GUI client. It is a client. There should be some communication medium, right? You have to run some commands. So what we did, we have used EC2 instance to work or practice your Linux commands. Correct? You need to learn Linux commands. So where you will be executing your Linux commands? Inside the server. Do you understand? So here the same thing.
Is that like an application server?
Who is that? So no. The Git bash is not application server. It's a software. You know Putty?
Yeah. Okay. This is Chetan.
Yeah. Chetan, so this is what? So you know Putty, so the same thing like that. So it is a medium for you to execute the Git commands. Our goal is to learn the Git. So how you can execute the Git commands? Where you will execute the Git commands?
Git bash.
Exactly. So if you are working in the Git bash, okay, you will be fine. But since it is the first time, you are working with the tool, GUI tool. The same thing, whatever you are going to do in a command, you can do it with the Tortoise Git. Understood? So in a company, either they will be using Git bash or Tortoise Git. So two things they will be using in a real time. Some companies can use the two things also. Okay. Now you understand, Siddharth and Chetan?
Yes, Sundar. And in terms it called as tool, right? Software.
Yes, it's a software tool.
Okay.
So the Tortoise Git is a tool, and the Git bash is nothing but the Git software itself. So now, yeah, slowly you will come to understand all these things. So what you can do now, do you get the point? So GitHub, I have created the repository, and just a moment. Okay, so here what is happening here is, now the next point that we are going to discuss is, we are going to do the same thing in your command prompt. Now whatever I have did, so it is there in the tortoise git, right? So now I am just going to do this in a git bash, okay, which is a command prompt. So this is a real command, okay, this is a real command that we are going to do it. Okay, you see, it is in a C colon, and in this C colon, I have just created some directory. Maybe you can create some directory for you called git. See, phone on the border, please stop. Don't make. Please pass. Go 5 minutes. So okay, the file is the git folder is already existing. Okay, so you can see that. Sorry guys, 2 more minutes. So my son is disturbing me. Just a moment. I will make switch on my his laptop and come back. Wait. Okay. So till now we have worked on the GUI. So now we will work on the command prompt. Okay. You see now. So I have a lot of things here. So I'm just deleting all this thing. So just I have deleted my local stuffs. So now I need to use my git clone, right? So git clone is a command, and what I need to clone. So I need to clone from this GitHub, right? So what is happening here is nothing but demo Pranita. So I'm just trying to clone this repository, right? So I'm just copy pasting this repository and using this HTTPS. So this is how each and every developer in your real time will be working on it, right? So he will just say enter, and this repository is getting downloaded from this GitHub to this place. So now this is a repository, okay, which is there in GitHub, and it is getting the clone is an operation, and this operation is being done, or this a medium to do this operation is the git bash. So I am using a software called git bash to download the things. Okay, so a lot of noise are coming, so everybody can go on mute if anybody is there on not in mute. Okay. So maybe Prabhakar, you can go on mute. Okay, I muted Prabhakar already. Fine. So now if you see here, you see demo Pranita. So this is the local repository. If you go and check it here, it will be coming as a local repository. You see. So how you can just know is, you see nothing but masters. So master is a default branch. Whenever you have created the repository, this is a default branch. It will be there, and that is called as a default branch. So git branch. So you see the git branch. So it is called as a master. So master is a default branch which will be created whenever the repository is getting created. So this is the first trump card that you have to understand, or the first rule that you have to understand. So this is how the branch will be created, and I will be talking few classes later what is the branching strategy that you have to follow in your release software planning. Okay, different teams can be working together by using the branching techniques also. Okay, so now what we can do here is, so you see now if I put ls, the text new document is the one which is already there in your local. Now I can just create a file called f1. Okay, I have just created an empty file using a touch command, and after that what I have to do, I have to use git add to just add it, and after that I need to use git commit to commit the things. So it will not ask me, it will be asking for, now it is asking for your, so actually it is asking for my commit message. So you have to put -m SRA, something like that. The commit message you have to put. So once the commit is done, what you have to do? So this is, if you see here, what I have did now. So I have cloned the repository in the local repository, and I have created a file, and I have added the file by using git add, and git commit, and finally I have to do the git push, right? So till now whatever we have did by using, just a moment. So till now whatever we have did by using this tortoise git GUI, we are just trying to put it in the git bash, so which is a command prompt. Okay, so what we have to do is you need to use a git push. Okay, so just to try to push, what do you need to push? You need to push the masters, right? So master is the master git push origin master. So you can ask me what is origin. Origin is the connection string. Okay, origin is a connection string between your local and your remote. So automatically there will be a connection string will be created called origin. You can just check. So this is how it was. It is prompting in your GUI. So it was talking about the origin and master. So what I need to push? I need to push the master branch. Where I need to push? I need to push it in origin. So what is origin? Origin is nothing but the connection string between your remote repository and your local repository. Now it is asking for the username of your remote repository, which is going to be the user at the rate server name. Sorry, my user GitHub username. So I have just given it. So let's see. It is authentication is failed because I have given the wrong password. So I will give the correct password now, and it will be working for us now. We'll see in few minutes. So now it will be pushed. You see, now it is pushed. So this push operation got completed. Now if you can go and check in your remote repository, which is a demo Pranita. So Pranita, you see F1 file is there inside now. Okay, so this is the same thing which we have did it in the tortoise git. Okay, which is the standard tool people will be using it. Okay, not tortoise git, which is a git bash. Sorry. Fine. So now there is a question. Go ahead. Who is there? Somebody was asking the question and I have stopped it. Yeah.
Yeah, Sundar, myself, Chetan.
Go ahead, Chetan.
Yeah, why do you add git add F1 from here? Can you repeat once again?
Yeah. So why did you add a git add F1 means? Did you practice SVN?
I did not. I had not heard the class, so I did not receive recording also. Even.
Okay. So the thing is, anything which is not there in a, see, F1 is a file which was there or not before?
Yeah, you created, right? Touch F1.
Yeah, so it is, no, it was not there in the repository. So I have created a new file, correct?
Yes.
So if something which is not there in the repository before, the git add or svn add is a command to make yourself introduced to your versioning system. First you need to add, and after that you need to make any operation on your system. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the reason I have used add command, and after that I have used the commit command because I need to commit the things in the local repository. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Submit button, right?
Yeah, exactly, like a submit button. Okay. So once you did the submit, and after that you are making a sync with your remote repository.
Okay.
Understood.
Commit is like a save and submit, right? Is it?
Exactly. Save is a commit. Save is like a commit, and submit is like a push.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So now, are you clear with this? Prabhakar, are you clear with this? Prabhakar, is it clear? Surya, is it clear? Oh, Surya joined. Okay.
It's clear.
Okay, so hereafter, Surya, if you are joining late,
Yeah.
you have to sing a song.
Hello?
Yeah, hereafter, if you are joining late, you have to sing a song, Surya.
I'll do for you. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
won't
that's
join
good.
late.
Can you sing a song to me now?
Now,
Telugu,
I'm not preparing
no
a song,
no
but next
English.
time.
Yeah, thank
No
you.
English?
Thank you. No, I don't know English song. So you have to sing a Hindi song or a Tamil song or a Telugu.
I have to listen. Yeah, I have to listen Hindi songs, sir. Hindi or Telugu. Amen.
Oh, basically you don't listen Hindi or Telugu songs or Tamil songs? Okay, fine. So Prabhakar, so are you getting the point? So everybody are talking, you are not talking, so that's the reason I am always teaching you. No? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So now what is happening is, do you understand? So what is now I am trying to do? So I have created the remote repository. From the remote repository, I am just trying to put get the things into your local, and I am just trying to push the things into my remote repository. Now this is the normal stage how the GitHub works in your industry. Okay. Now we will do the same setup. Everybody, it is not a hard rule and fast rule that we have to go for the GitHub. Correct. So in this case, what you can do is you can also go for the normal server. So this is how most of the companies will be working. So what they will be doing is they will be having some servers. In that server, there will be a Git setup will be there. Okay. So what you can do is, so as we know that the server platform is going to be the AWS. It can be a cloud or it can be a physical server also. You will be having such kind of infrastructure setup. So what we are going to do is we are just going to select some EC2 services. So in this EC2 services, I am going to launch a server. So in that server, I am going to install the Git. So this is what my agenda is now. So you see, I see one server is already running. So what I'm going to do is I don't want this server. So I'm just going to launch a new server, which is Ubuntu server, fresh server for me. So I'm just going to launch the Ubuntu server, and in that Ubuntu server review and launch, and I'm going to just use my existing key. So existing AWS key, which I'm going to use it. So this is the, no, not AWS key. Yeah, existing AWS key I'm just going to use, and I say, yeah. So launch this instance. So I'm just trying to launch this instance now. You see, so now I am just talking that I am just going to name this as a Git setup or Git server. Okay, so Git server. So this is the Git server which is going to be run across your company, and we will also say that I am just trying to open the port for everyone. So I am just trying to open the port for all the traffic is going to be unblocked and save it. Okay, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to just have this one. So Git server. So connect to the Git server and try to install the Git on this machine now. Okay, so now whatever I have teached you in the Linux class, I'm just going to ask the question to you. So make your brain sharpen. So I'm just going to go to the download folder, and I'm just going to get. So I'm just yeah, I'm starting the machine. So I am starting it now. So right now I went it sudo su hyphen, yeah. So what is happening is now what I need to do, I just need to use the installer, which is app installer install. So before what I need to install, I need to install Git. So you can check how many packages are there for Git. We have lot of packages. So I just want to install only Git now. So not more than that. So what I'm going to do is I just put enter. So the Git is already installed in this newest machine. You see, the Git version is already installed in this machine. So this is advantage for us now. Okay, but normally it will not be. Okay, so apt-get. So we'll just say upgrade, up update, update, apt-get update. If you see, so it is getting, the machine is getting updated now, and let's see that Git is, you see now the Git is working. So this is the Git is working now in this machine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a directory which is repo. Okay, so I'm just going to create a repository directory, and I'm just going to create a repo. To create a repo, the command is nothing but git init. Okay, git init So before that, you try to do mkdir, okay, demo runny the R product. I would say that Java application. So your product name. Let's go in a real way. So Java application. Okay. So application.git. This is a repository that I'm going to create it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is now just go to this repository. Okay. And create a repository. So git init init where. Okay. And yeah, so just a moment. So I'm just going to clear all the things. So I have created this folder, right? So inside this folder, I want to make this folder as my remote repository. So I have already named it, correct? So what I'm going to do here is nothing but I just want to use, I just go into this folder and say git init is nothing but initialize. So initialize my git repository and make this option as a bear and say enter. So it should not be one single hyphen bear, it should be like this bear. So now what is happening? Initialize the empty git repository inside this folder called Java application git. You see, now the empty git is got, that is git application got installed here. So now this machine becomes the git bear init machine. So here you cannot just add the folder, only the thing is from other place you can add the folder. So this repository will become a remote repository now. So you see now, so this is the git repository in your company, and this repository can be cloned. So here is the remote repository like a GitHub, which you have created a demo Pranita over there, right? So normally when I click the create repository, the background, this is a command, it will be triggered. So the name of the command is nothing but your git init bear. So if it is a bare repository, you cannot directly just do the changes on this repository. Instead, what you have to do is you have to clone your repository and push the changes into this repository so that everybody cannot just do the directly, nobody can enter here and do the changes. So this is what the agenda is. So once you create a bare repository, what you have to do, okay, so you can use this place. So this is my repository, correct? If you are using PWD now, okay, so in this place you have this repository, so you can clone it very well, right? You can clone this repository very well. Okay, so this is what you can do it. But if you see here now, so where it is now, so it should be inside the root. Actually the repository should be created here, not in that root place. Okay, so you have to create the repository here. I made a mistake of creating there. Okay, mkdir Java app. Okay, oh sorry, so java app.git. So this is the repository that I have to create. So java app.git is the repository, and git where, so it should be hyphen where init init. So in this dot, so in this current directory. So you see now the git repository got initialized. Now if you see PWD, this is the place where the repository is there. Now what you can do, so you can just go to your other GitHub, so your local git bash, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clone this repository, correct? So I'm just going to clone this repository in my local. So this is right. So I don't want anything, just I want to take the things from there. So what I need to do, git clone, from where I need to clone. So I need to clone from this machine, right? So I need to clone from this machine. So just go to your EC2 instance and try to connect it. So now you can just say Ubuntu at the machine, right? So you can just try to connect to from your machine. So the Ubuntu insert. Okay, and what you can do here is you can just use your home. So it will be in home. Inside home, it is going to be a Java app.git. You see, so now what it will happen here is, if you are just trying to clone this repository from this place, it is saying there is a public key permission denied. You don't have a permission to access from this machine to this machine, right? So what you have to do in this case, so what you have to do is, you need to create the SSH key gen, which I have taught you on before some days back. So SRA, so you have to generate this SRA public key and private key, because this machine, so from your local machine, each and every user has to connect to your Git machine, so which you don't have the authentication. So what you are going to do is, you are just going to create an authentication in this place. So it should be there in your .ssh folder, right? So there is a pub key, right? ID RSA pub key is there. So this public key, okay, what you need to do? So you just mark this key and paste it in your where? Authorized keys of your EC2 instance. First you copy this, and what you need to do is, you need to just put it in your authorized keys, right? So there should be a SSH authorized keys there, and you just put it here.
Starting. We need to copy.
In the starting, just put it here. So first you just put insert, and after that you have to just paste it. So I have pasted it. Now from this machine, any user can log into that place. You see, so C:\git. Now you can just say clone. Now you can clone this. So now you see, I can reach from this machine to this machine, and I can try to clone this one. So let's see whether the cloning is working or not. You see, cloning into this Java app. You see, now warning, you appear to clone your empty repository. Very good. So I have connected to my Java app, and you see now the master. So I have connected to my machine to my remote repository, which is there in my GitHub. So this is my server. So now I have connected to my repository inside this Git server. You see, and what you can do is, you can create a file, just touch F1 and do git add F1, and you can do git commit F1 with some message, and what you can do is, finally you can do the git push. Now you can see what is your remote repository, git-remote v. So this is a command. Git remote-v is a command which tells you the origin. What is your origin? Origin is nothing but your Ubuntu, this machine. You see, this Java app.git. So this is the origin of this. This is the remote for your location. Okay. So now what you can do, git push. Where you want to push in the origin, what you want to push, your master branch, which is a default branch. Now you pushed it. So without asking password, anything, it will be pushed, because you already have the connection mechanism between the server and your local, right? So like in this company, that each and every company, each and every user, if you want to authenticate for the particular repository or a server, so you have to make this kind of SSH mechanism. If you are not using GitHub authentication or any other authentication, you have to use such kind of mechanism to make your developers access to your Git server. So this is the first and foremost responsibility of your DevOps engineer. Okay, it makes sense for you now? So this is how, in a real time, somebody has asked the question. I guess it is a somebody else. So it will be connected. What is the EC2 instance or AWS, how it is happening in the Git or SVN, correct? So this is how the question they have asked maybe in 2 to 3 days back. So this is the role behind that. So now this is a real setup that people will be doing in the company. So instead they can use a GitHub, or they can use the normal server, and they will install the Git on top of it, and they will create a bare repositories. They will be creating only the repositories here. Lot of repos can be created here. Okay, but only the thing is they will clone this repository from this place. They will be cloning this repository, and after that, once the operation is done, so what you will do? You will just push the repository to this place. So from your local. Is it clear, guys, to you? You have to practice this, guys. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to just move further.
Yeah.
Vikram, is it clear to you? No? Yes? Vikram? What is this, guys? You are not replying. Pranita, clear?
Yes,
Nita Garu.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Surya. Yes, Surya.
I kind of did this earlier, but with only Bash from my computer.
Okay.
But I never did through Amazon, AWS, this server.
Yeah, correct. So that is what I am asking you to do it. So this is how the real setup in the the industry will be.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that it should be Amazon Web Services. It can be any server for you.
Oh, virtual machine will work, right?
Anything. Yeah, virtual machine will work. Anything will work for you. It is a server. It can be a cloud server. It can be a Docker instance also. Nobody is going to care about it. It can be a physical machine. It can be a VM machine. It can be a cloud machine. It can be any other machine. But for you, I need a server, or I need a place where the remote repository should be there. Even it can be your desktop also. 10 developers are there. It is in a network, right? You can use one developer's machine also as a remote repository. So wherever you are creating a command, simple. So there is a 2 different command here. So you see the difference. So I will tell you the difference here. You see Git. So two directory I will create, mkdir, f1 and f2. Okay, so if I go to f1 and say git init dot, it just creates the empty repository here. Okay, this is a local repository which I am creating. So in the same time, what I am doing is I am just going to the directory called f2 and say same command with the option called bare. Okay, git init. Okay, if I am using an option called bare and dot, okay, it creates the same thing, but you see lot of directories are getting created. So in this case, if I am using a git, what is happening here is if I am using a touch f1, okay, and git add f1, if I am putting like this operation must be run in a working tree, because it is not a working tree, it is a remote repository which you have created. It makes sense for you guys. So this is a difference between the normal repository creation and the remote repository creation. If you have used the bare command here, so this is a technical difference they will be asking you. So if you are using a bare init while you are creating a repository, you cannot do any git operation. Only the push and pull operation can be done. It is the central repository or a remote repository of your company. If you are so in a normally local thing, you will be using just init. That's it. So if you are initting it, so it is a local repository, and you can just make the changes inside the repository itself.
Okay.
So this one you will come to understand while you are practicing only. So what is the difference between the bare and what is this remote repository? They can ask, how can you create a normal repository and how can you create a remote repository? What is the difference between that? So the little trump card for that is nothing but hyphen bare while you are doing an init. That's it.
Right.
Pranita,
So,
clear? Is
so
it clear,
to,
Pranita?
yeah.
Yes, yes. Go ahead, Surya.
So to create a remote repository, we use --bare in it, right?
Exactly. Correct.
Okay.
So now obviously GitHub will be creating a bare repository.
Right. I got it.
Pranita?
Yeah, Sundar.
Sorry.
Here, after commit the code, we make the code into development or production, right? So here we need to create the separate repository, or what should we do here?
Sorry?
No,
Without
actually,
creating a repository, where you will commit them?
no,
See,
Sundar,
if you
no,
want,
not my question. Actually, after commit the code, we match the code into development or production, right? From our local. So here we need to create the separate repository for production or.
It is a very good question. So this is what the branching will be coming to a picture.
Okay.
In this same repository, there will be a branch will be created. Okay. So I told you, right. So the normal branch is the master branch, correct?
Right.
So you see only one branch is there. So like this you will be having for the same repository, you will be having a development branch and the production branch and the release branch will be there.
Okay.
Okay, so developer, if they want to work for the particular single release, they will be working on the release branch, not in the master branch. So the master branch is something which will be there, the code which is in the production, it will be there. So it doesn't mean that always the people will be working on for production. They will be working for a production release, they will be working for a normal future release, and they will be working for the current release. Right? If the iPhone 6 is getting released, do you mean to say that only people are working on iPhone 7? Few people will be working on iPhone 6 issues, bug fix also. Off ஆயிடுச்சா நான் வரேன் சரி பண்றேன் நான் வரேன் சரி பண்றேன் ஓ நான் சரி பண்றேன் கதவை சாத்திட்டு போ டோன்ட் டேக் அபினவ் இவங்களை வந்து எடுக்க சொல்லு பேங்கோவை வந்து எடுக்க சொல்லு நீ எடுக்க கூடாது சுவிட்ச் ஆஃப் பண்ணு முதல்ல சுவிட்ச் ஆஃப் பண்ணு பேங்கோவை வந்து எடுக்க சொல்லு கமலத்தை எடுக்க சொல்லு எடுத்துன்னு போ மெதுவா எடுத்துன்னு போ அபினவ் கமலத்தை எடுத்துன்னு போவாப்பா ஓகே டோரை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிட்டு போங்க இந்த வந்து 5 நிமிஷம் okay do you mean that iPhone 6 fixes will also be working and iPhone 7 features will also be working and the future release iPhone 7 will also be working. So in this case you will be having a different branches and people will be working in a different branches. Understood?
Yes.
And finally when there is a sign off they will be merging the things in master and the code which is in the master will go to the production.
Okay.
Okay. So while the testing is going on, the code which is in the release branch will be going to the testing team. So that is what it is called as a Git workflows. We will be talking about the workflows in the coming days. So this is the best documentation I would say for the Git in the world. Okay, AT Atlassian Git. Okay, Atlassian Git tutorial. So which is a very good tutorial for you. Okay, I'm just putting in the chat. So becoming a Git guru. Okay. So what is a version control? What is Git? What is your organization? Install the Git. Okay. So this is how it is. It will be start working. Okay. So collaborating, syncing, all those things. That's not a matter here. So you can just say getting started. So setting up a repository. So this is what git init clone config. Saving the change, git add, commit, stash, and git ignore we will talk later. Inspect is nothing but git status and log we will see. So undo the changes, yes, reset, revert, and all those things we will see. So reviewing the history, so which is a commit, rebase, all those things we will see. So it was so this is the first thing that you have to understand. So you can, if you have a time, you can just read this very well.
Yes.
Oh wait, so here there is to answer your question. This is a question. So comparing the workflows. Okay, Git workflows are there. So here. Yeah, Git workflow. Yeah. So this is the template or a branching workflow that people will be using. So this is a master branch, this is a hotfix branch, this is a release branch, this is a development branch which is in purple, and feature branch. So all the developers will be working in this branch. So this branching techniques we will come to know, and this is the answer for your question. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So next, Mahendra, are you clear?
Yeah, Sundar, I'm clear. Sundar. I'll work on this today so that if I get any doubts, I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So Siddharth, Chetan, clear?
Yes, Sundar.
Okay. Okay, so if you don't have doubts, that's fine. So we will wind up, and we will have, okay, yes, Sundar, that's fine, okay. Okay, we will see you tomorrow, bye-bye, on the same time. So we will continue with the Git tomorrow, but in the meantime, you practice this Git and come back to me. Okay, guys, is it clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye, see you.
Bye.